Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad ISMAIL. I am 264-9. So our group made a case study on the Department Traffic of Royal Malaysian Police Pdrm. Next slide. So for the background organisation, the Royal Malaysian Police Pdrm is the country's most powerful government agency. Pdrm, which turned 246 years old on March 25, 2021, is currently under the supervision of Ministry of Home Affairs. Pdrm has played a very important role in order to create a peaceful and prosperous country that is Malaysia. Regardless of the public perception to Pdrm, as an organisation that support the rule of law, Pdrm will always implement their role to ensure the peace and prosperity of the country will always have preserved. The challenges faced by the Pdrm nowadays are becoming too complex compared to the past. Today, Pdrm not only needs to be smart in dealing with the increasing sophisticated and various criminal threats, but also need to deal with the public order issue. The department in the Royal Malaysian Police that we focus is on the traffic branch. The reason why we choose the Department of Traffic is because majority the traffic department officer hold many responsibility compared to the other department. Therefore, this department face many issue and problem compared to other department. So next slide. So next is the diagnosis of the organization level. So, in order to make the diagnosis of the organisation level to the Royal Malaysian Police Pdrm under the Traffic Department, we collect the data information by make a face-to-face interview. That is by making the video call with the officer of Pdrm, and also by send a question message through the WhatsApp application. So the general environment that affect the Pdrm objective is the social. This is because as the objective of Pdrm is to provide professional and quality service in protecting the country to ensure the public safety, security and prosperity. But currently during the pandemic COVID-19, the people are decreasing to respect the job of police as there are many issues that state that police officer during this pandemic has made many mistakes, problem and practicing double standard to all the people. Next, the second general environment that affect the PRM objectives is the political factor. This is because nowadays there are many intervention of politicians in the police department, thus making the police job become more complicated. For example, the Minister of Home Affairs, Datuk Seri Hamzah Zainuddin, has interfered with the scope of police job. Having an interference by the political can affect the PRM to accomplish their objective, as there will be many complicated issues that will happen. Lastly, the industry structure that can directly affect the PDRM is the task environment. As we realize, the pandemic COVID-19 has affected the scope job of the police officer. This because many police officer was needed to ensure all the people are follow the rules that be made by the Ministry of Health of Malaysia, KKM. Compared to the past, police officers have their own scope of job to ensure the public safety, security and prosperity. But the scope of job has changed as many police officers was needed in control the border between the state and also have to control the patrol around their own places. So next, the design component. Next.
My name is AZRI from SALEHAN, message number 2627776. I will continue the issue and problem faced by the organization. Firstly, as experiencing it seems that the majority of officers and members are still on duty, but is instructed to be involved with movement control operation. This situation contributes to the psychological problem of the authority, which is one of the big challenge for them. During a pandemic period, many officers and police personnel experience emotional instability and extreme stress. Next, problem with the public. The big problem faced by the authority is maintaining positive relation with the public. Emergency situation such as pandemic can have a significant impact on police community relation and community trust in the police. High workload. Another challenge by authorities in carrying this this when they have to play various roles. This is due to position of task, length of time on duty, and the priority of performing important tasks. Police officer involved with the investigation of certain case before the outbreak shall differ in investigation that began before or during the outbreak. Next slide. Next, recommend intervention to improve the situation organization. First, third-party intervention. Police officer need support from agency to carry out their duty effectively. Support from this agency can provide resources and allocation in this time crisis, and this allow officer to better overcome the challenge of logistical constraint while maintaining job satisfaction. Police leadership is very important when planning to protect the mental health and well-being of members. Next, intergroup relation intervention. Improving the effectively of the implementation of movement control order during a pandemic is the best way to resolve the issue within the police force. Therefore, the police need to work with several other parties to further increase efficiency to curb this pandemic. Among the parties that can cooperate with the police in Royal Malaysian Army, the police and the army can support each other, especially in terms of providing for logistical needs. Next, consultation process. The studies emphasize the importance of police community relation. During the pandemic period, police community relation will be effective because of the action taken by the police to control movement. The importance of the police in to maintain a positive relation with the community and rebuild the trust of the community. Therefore, the police should plan strategy by using social media as a medium to communicate and interact with the community about the responsibility of the police and military as the front line in ensuring the health and safety of the public. Next will be presented by my roommate.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Izzat ZAKWAN bin MARZUKI and my matrix number is 262619. Okay, I will present about the output of intervention recommendation. So, human process intervention derive primarily from the science of psychology and social psychology, as well as the applied domain of group dynamic and human relation. So, first point is get support from an agencies. So, as we know, third-party intervention focus on dysfunctional interpersonal conflict. So this strategy is only utilized in exception situation and when both parties are prepared to engage in the process of direct confrontation. So one of the benefit that they can gain when they get support from third party intervention is get more support and other assistance. So this is one of the solution that we suggest to them. Support from other agency is important because to get help from various aspect, especially financial aspect. In this pandemic situation, the government has spent a lot of money on all the affected agency involved. With that, the existing budget will be divided among all sector and is forced to reduce spending to some of the agencies involved. So with this support, agency will be able to cover some of the shortcoming in the sector, especially the Pdrm, to continue their operation. So next is do a collaboration with soldier. So throughout this situation, intervention, conflict resolution meeting, and microorganism group are the two intervention that comprise intergroup interaction. So we choose intergroup intervention as a solution lah. Intergroup concern study and subsequent solution are adopted in the institution, especially in police. So intergroup conflict resolution facilitated the settlement of problematic relationship between two groups. This technique, when combined, contributes to strengthen intergroup dynamic and contribute to organization performance. These interventions are intended to improve relation across various groups or department inside the organization. So one of the agency that can search for help them to support our work is soldier. So the military is one of the agency that acts to protect the country from the threat of danger instead of police. So this pandemic has claimed many lives and the increase in cases of infection is become more and more alarm. So the last point is build good police community relations. So this is under process consultation. So process consultation is a theory as well as set of practice for carrying out this existing relationship. So there are few benefit in this process consultation when it used to overcome these issues. So build good police community relation is a good solution. Based on this issue, we have to do a collaboration with the community. So with this cooperation, we can do a lot of things easily and our pandemic will slowly gone. So first of all is always make an effort to be helpful. So process consultant must be aware of their aims at all time and each engagement must be geared toward the being beneficial. So this also can give advantage to other when people help each other. So I pass to my friend.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad AZRI bin MUHAYIDin. My matric number 2638925. So I will present about the obstacle of change through the intervention. So through of the process of the implementing the improvised intervention, some barriers or hurdles may yet arise during the implementation of the proposed action to address the existing situation in the Department of Traffic Royal Malaysian Police, led by Pdrm. So here are the list of the obstacle of change through the intervention that has been identified. There are three. So the first obstacle in the third party intervention is the obstacle of the only a few agencies that cooperate with PDRM. So based on this intervention, the obstacle or hurdles that have been recognized is there are only a few agencies that cooperate with the PDRM. So this means that there are still a lot of agencies that doesn't have no illness consciousness about this. So nowadays, during this pandemic COVID-19 situation, we can see that they have a lot of roadblock in each district that also have every state which has been taking care of this police officer in order to reduce the spread of the pandemics. So although there have been a lot of people give support to them, but in reality, there are still not enough of the supply that have been given, especially that officer that work in the field of work, as example in the roadblock. For example, that can be given is when they have a heavy rain, the tent that has been prepared may be damaged due to the strong wind. So they also may causing the tent fly or be capsized by it. So another example is some place that we provide that there have no basic necessities that have been such as toilet for do unnecessary things. So because of this, they had to go to find the nearest toilet that have been available in that area. So this will be make it difficult for them to carry out their work. So, but in the same time, there are also several agencies that provide them which is not necessary things, item that may not suitable for them. So the second obstacle in obstacle change of intervention is the intergroup relation intervention is the obstacle of lack of workforce and dissemination of incorrect information. So beside that, under this intergroup relation intervention, one of the obstacles that may be occur in TRM while performing the job is the lack of the workforce and the dissemination of incorrect information. So there are also some parties who cannot provide a full cooperation in carrying out the task of curbing this COVID-19 pandemic. So among them is called RELA. So they also have been take a part in guarding at a roadblock to set up by the police. However, they are also tied to their job as well, such as guarding the inflow and outflow during the such as Friday prayers or even the grand ceremonies. With this, the police had to work overtime at the roadblock to ensure that the roadblock could be carried out smoothly without any interruption. So the last obstacle of change of rule intervention in consent consultation is about the obstacle in media interference between community and police. So meanwhile, there are still a few of number of barriers that arise with this intervention is performed. Among them is that the society often manipulate the facts. So there are a handful of irresponsible communities using their expertise to speed the false news to the public. So these fake news will not only cause a panic to the public, but it will also make it difficult for various parties to plan a job. This fake news can also cause a chaos in the country, and it will make it difficult for many parties to correct it back to the real story. So the act of the transmitting the authentic information not only raise the public concern, so it can even trigger panic buying or some other crimes. Therefore, the spread of the false news should be stopped, and the spreader should be given appropriate punishment to ensure that it will not be repeated in the future. So I will pass next slide to my partner.
Okay, thank you, Azri. So, as conclusion, we can see that organization development is essential in guiding the Pdrm for their improving. It also assists the organization in assessing themselves and their environment, as well as renewing and rebuilding their strategy, structure, and procedure. The Department of Traffic Royal Malaysian Police (Pdrm) has been through four main problems while dealing with the COVID-19 or disaster in general is including mental health problem, police community relation, physical need, and the diverse role of the police. All of this problem has made the Department of Traffic Royal Malaysian Police to unable to accomplish their objective to provide professional and quality service in protecting the country to ensure public safety, security, and prosperity. Adopting the organisation development, the Department of Traffic Royal Malaysia Police (Pdrm) can find a solution and increase both the organisation growth and also the employee growth. This by creating a strategic decision on how to handle the problem. Among the strategy that be recommended that can help the Department of Traffic Royal Malaysian Police Pdrm is such by making a enforcement agency collaboration with another agency and also make a close contact of police community relation. So that's all for our group and thank you for lending your ears to us.